Hey everybody, I'm Dr. Nashlie with the Garden of Nash, and I came for a part two. I wanted to make sure I got a Q&A in because I get questions all the time on the channel, on the shorts, in the comments, in the DMs. If you also follow us on Instagram at Garden of Nash or TikTok at Garden of Nash, definitely tell somebody about us, like, subscribe, comment, share, hit that post notification bell. We want to continue to educate people about their garden, get people started with their garden. That's why I always ask, have you started your garden yet? Because there are so many benefits of having a garden and being in the garden. So I want to make sure that people are, taking advantage of just what's so simple right there in front of them. And so what I would like to do is I have a few questions here that I have written down based on all the things that I've seen and people have sent me. And so we'll get straight into it. So again, I'm Dr. Nashlie, the Garden of Nash. A lot of people ask me, what am I a doctor of? So I actually got my computer engineering degree from Georgia Tech. Shout out to Georgia Tech. And I got my PhD there in electrical and computer engineering. I actually got my undergrad from Mississippi State University, go Bulldogs. And I'm originally from Jackson, Mississippi. So I'm a Mississippi girl, Southern girl, through and through, born and raised. I've been living in the Atlanta area probably for the last 10 plus years or so. And so that is where I'm based. A link to that question, in addition to where I got my doctorate in, is where am I based? So again, Atlanta-based area, 7B8A. And so somewhere right on the cusp or in between that. And so all the things that we're doing, of course, those in that area, you probably know we had a lot of rain. And so a lot of those things affect what we're doing in the garden. So it's been quite interesting. I try to be as natural as possible in the garden. And I haven't really got into things like hydroponics and things like that yet, even though, it's a very cool thing to get into. I just haven't gotten into it yet. Another question is, what do I do? So I'm actually in the tech industry, in AI research scientist and evangelizing, basically do a lot of speaking engagements. We help people and customers in AI. I work for a large AI company. And so we're definitely, it's definitely an interesting time to be in the AI space. But I did see a lot of parallelisms between STEM, so science, technology, engineering, and math, and gardening. And so I have always approached gardening from that perspective. And so I wanted to see if I could bridge what I knew in the tech industry with gardening. And so some of the things you'll see, like our videos on doing experiments like a scientist would, or even using some of the tools like our soil meter. So we have a video showing my favorite tools, even our wheelbarrow that has all like the 4-in-1 wheelbarrow. I think it's so cool. It's one of my favorites. It's a very techie type of thing. And so I try to add that spin onto gardening, and I hope that sets me apart from some of the other gardeners out there. Like I said, I've been gardening for several years. I come from a long line of gardeners, my mom, my grandmother on both sides. And so my mom's side and my dad's side, and even my sister. So we're gardening type of people. And I'm glad I was able to embrace that, especially during, the COVID and everything, when we started having to stay at home a lot, working from home. And so it was something that really helped me as an outlet. All right, so next question, is future hubby a gardener as well? So we have, if you've seen some of my videos where I say a little extra help from future hubby, or you may have seen him in some of the videos, I think it was in the last video too. He is a gardener. I'm the gardener in the family. I say future hubby because we're actually getting married this fall, so I'm excited about that. But he is a gardener as well. He helps me out a lot. Especially moving a lot of things. I mean, to be honest, we just linked back up. We've been knowing each other for a long time, even going back to elementary school. But we just reconnected about a year ago. And they say, hey, well, you know. But prior to that, I've been gardening solo, living alone as long as I can remember. So he's been an extra help and I really appreciate him. And so maybe one day we'll get him in some of the videos. So maybe comment down below if you'd like to see him interacting with me more. He acts like he's a little shy, but he's really not. But he loves the garden as well. All right, so people ask, how much space do I have? So I actually have a few beds. I got a few out here. I think I just did a garden update. You can check that video out. That was some of the beds I have. I'm actually sitting in my backyard right now, and some of those beds that I built from with the wood and the brick blocks, they're back here. So I think it's like 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. There's a raised bed, like a Vigo garden bed over there. There's also a small little impromptu bed I created over here. There's actually 2 more up on the hill, and I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4 beds in the front yard as well, where I do a lot of flower gardening as well. So I haven't shown a lot of the flower gardening, but I do hope to show a little bit more of that in some of my future videos. All right, next question. Let's see, what do you use for pest control? So we actually did a whole video on what we use for pest control here in the Garden of Nash, and it was actually our most successful video. So thanks for everybody who tuned into that. I think it was something like 17,000 views, and we actually use things like coffee grounds. That's actually something my grandmother taught us about. My sister and I growing up. I use orange oil. It works really well for what I'm growing. It is actually pet safe as well. I also did a video on some of the spices that we use. We just sprinkle them around, like cinnamon and cayenne pepper, grounded up peppers. The pests don't like that. They usually repel that. So you're not really killing the pests, you're repelling the ones that you don't want. You do want to just be mindful that you're not repelling some of those pollinators that are helpful and things that are helpful in the garden. So it's always a balance. There's always trade-offs with whatever you use. I don't use anything that's not natural though, like pesticides and things that you buy that have GMOs or genetically modified. We stay away from all of that because again, we're concerned about our health as well. So we also did a video in my mom's garden. I actually went home to Mississippi a couple times, got a couple videos of us going garden shopping with my grandmother. Check those videos out if you're interested. And then also what she does to keep moles out the garden. And so the dogs were actually in the video too. It was actually kind of pretty hilarious. But she uses castor oil, dipping the cotton balls in the castor oil and then spreading that around the garden. And it kind of helps with keeping those moles and voles away. So I didn't know that voles were actually similar to moles, but they eat vegetation instead of, more carnivores. And so I'm learning so much in the garden, and it's just so, interesting to learn about nature and just be more in tune with, the original ways to eat food and plant. And so we try to keep the pest control that way as well. And there's the sun. Hello, sun. All right, so I got a couple more questions here. What do you use your herbs for? Well, I use my herbs for a lot of things. We have this monster rosemary bush. I call it Mother Rosemary. We have oregano that comes back every year. This mint comes back every year. This lemon balm is taking over. The sage. There's so much you can do with those herbs. We like to make teas here. We like to make rosemary oil. It's really good for your hair. If you're looking for something to kind of soothe you at the end of a stressful day, lemon balm tea is perfect for that. If you're sick, you can get oregano and make an oregano tea, and it has healing properties in oregano with all the antioxidants and all the things and nutrients that come in that. And there's sage. People like to burn sage in their homes to kind of keep the bugs away and just kind of freshen up your home a little bit. Any of these herbs, you can also boil them on the oven, on the stove top, and it'll create a great aromatic fragrance all around the house. I did a short on my Cape Jasmine plant. It smells so good, and you can just kind of take those leaves, even when they're old, and just, put them around the house, kind of like potpourri. and has a really good smell. You know, if you're sitting down at the couch and you smell it sitting right next to you on the stand near the couch. So we like to use things for so many different tools, so many different aspects that helps you with your health, helps you just with your home, with fragrances. So there's a lot that you can use herbs for. Herbs are very helpful. I also like a good basil lemonade with our basil. So we add some of the mint to my chlorophyll water in the morning when I drink chlorophyll water. So there's just so much you can do with that, and it's all good and healthy stuff. All right, so I think we have, let's see, make sure I didn't miss anything. So I kind of skipped around. Oh, okay. So we got two more questions. And I'm always happy to do more questions. If you, just send them to me in the comments. We could do a part 2 of this as well. So when did you start gardening, and why do you like gardening? So I talked about started gardening seriously during COVID. But why did I like gardening? Man, it's just, what's not to like about gardening? Like, you're out here, just you and nature. This is like my little mini vacation every day, or mini staycation. And so I love to come out here every morning, talking to the plants, looking at the plants, checking on them, almost like they're your babies. It's very soothing. Nobody's gonna talk back to you out here. Nobody's gonna have an attitude. It's gonna be all good vibes in the garden. Also, it helps my mind as well. You need sometimes some ways, healthy outlets, healthy escapes. If you had a stressful day, I don't know if many people know, but I actually lost my dad earlier this year. And so getting back into the garden more seriously, and even starting this YouTube channel after that, it helped me. It really forced me to do the things that I love, and it helped me to get back in tune with, the things that are more important. And so with future hubby, he was able to say, he said, hey, let's do it. That's what you want to do. Something I always wanted to do. He came out, he started, recording me in the garden. I think we put one post out, and it had like thousands of views or something. And so on social media, so we said, okay, let's try this thing out and let's see what happens. And I highly recommend, if you are interested, or in the least bit interested in starting a YouTube channel, or even starting to be more active on social media, I encourage you to do that. Stay as authentic as possible. People will love when you share different tips and things. Even the most experienced gardeners, all the way down to those who are just getting started, there's usually something that they can get out of your authenticity. And so just being true to yourself, sharing with the world what you know, what you do, you'd be surprised who can benefit from that. And I know I hear an airplane coming, so this is the last question. Hopefully y'all can still hear me, but what are your favorite plants to grow? So I'll end with that question. My favorite plants to grow are the greens, because they just keep coming back. It's like the easiest thing in the world to do, to grow lettuce and greens and just have them keep coming back. I cut off a little bit here, a little bit there, eat a salad here, daily, and it keeps coming back. It like multiplies. When you cut one leaf, it's like it multiplies 3 times. And it lasts throughout, like especially the lettuce, it will last throughout most of the summer, or at least most of the spring. And you can also grow kale. You can also grow spinach in the early season. There's also, certain type of greens you can grow throughout the spring. So it's very beneficial to me. So that's one of my favorite things to grow. And then, of course, sweet potatoes. I love sweet potatoes. It's one of my favorite foods to eat. You can do so much with a sweet potato. You can mash it. You can do a sweet potato casserole. You can do a loaded sweet potato with like cinnamon and sugar. Put a little bit of nutmeg in there. And, I just love it. You can bake it. You can cut it up and make French fries. You can even put them in the air fryer if you don't want to fry them. So it's just so much you can do with sweet potatoes. And I think you get one of the highest returns off the sweet potato. You can plant one sweet potato slits, and definitely check out one of our videos on that. And you can get, I have a picture where I got like 20 sweet potatoes from like one sweet potato I grew. Now it's going to take all season to grow. But the vines are so pretty. They're going to stretch. You can even trellis them and make a really pretty, arch in your garden. You can also eat those leaves. So it's so many benefits to the sweet potato. And it just tastes so good. So that's by far the leafy greens and the sweet potatoes are my favorite things to grow. And I think, in my opinion, some of the easiest things to grow too, especially if you're getting started as a gardener. All right, so those are all the questions. I hope I've answered some of that, and those who may have been wondering a little bit more about me. So hopefully that, answers some of the things you've been wondering about. But again, we can always do this again. We can always have a sit down, maybe even consider going live one day if people are interested in that. But definitely, if you have more questions, feel free to shoot them in the comments. If you got suggestions on what we should grow next, because again, we're going to be working today, getting rid of some of the plants that need to come up and transplanting out of some of the old soil that I mentioned was kind of bad soil that we got. So yeah, we got to put in the work in order to get the output. You reap what you sow. And so thanks again for tuning in with me, Dr. Nashlie, in the Garden of Nash. If you're interested in following us on, again, TikTok, Instagram, we're at Garden of Nash. You can also follow me if you're interested in some of the tech stuff that I do at Nashlie. We'll put that in the description, and I'm on LinkedIn as well. So lots of ways to get at me, whether you're on the garden side or on the techie side or AI side. So much going on, so much more we want to do and bring you all in the Garden of Nash. But thank you so much for tuning in, and hit that like, subscribe, comment, share, post notification bell, and we'll see you next time. We're out.